As far as financial inclusion is concerned, what are the things that have been done by Reserve Bank of India for furthering financial inclusion? When Mr. Raghuram Rajan was the governor of Reserve Bank of India, Reserve Bank of India decided to give 2 differentiated banking licenses. Small finance banks payment banks. Two differentiated banking licenses. Why it is called as differentiated? Because it is different from the universal bank model. Till that time, India had those universal banks. What are universal banks? Universal banks are those banks which can do all banking and allied activities in the universe. They are known as universal banks. State Bank of India, Canara Bank, Andhra Bank, all these banks are universal banks. Of course, some of the banks have been merged. Andhra Bank, it has been merged with which bank? That's a very important question. How many public sector banks are there in the country? The biggest bank in the country is State Bank of India. I am from State Bank. The biggest bank in the country. Among all public sector banks and private sector banks, the biggest bank in the country. Which is the second biggest bank in the country? That also they can ask. After merger, because after merger, Punjab National Bank, it has become a bigger bank. Among the private sector banks, which is the biggest? ICICI Bank or HDFC Bank. There are different parameters. Total number of branches, total number of staff, total deposits, total advances, total assets. Among all these parameters, State Bank of India is the biggest bank in the country. There is no doubt about that. As far as private sector banks are concerned, you can go to Google and find out which is the biggest private sector bank. Is it in terms of all parameters? Then, now, universal banks were there. Raghuram Rajan gave licenses to 2 differentiated banks, small finance banks, payment banks. How many banks were given licenses? How many of them really opened? All these things are for furthering financial inclusion. What are the rules? How much, whether can both the banks accept deposits? What is the maximum amount of deposit they can accept? Then can they give loans? Up to which amount? Now recently, Reserve Bank of India has given a permission to either of these banks. Go to Google and find out. RBI. Put everything will come. RBI, small finance banks, RBI payment banks. Immediately the details will come. Everything is available in Google search. Only thing is that we should be able to guess the question and remember the facts when we are in the interview, when we are facing the interview board. That's all. We should be able to present all the details in a pleasing manner without getting stuck somewhere. That is the secret. So, this was because of Mr. Raghuram Rajan, these differentiated banking licenses were given. What is going to happen in future? So many things are there. Whether they are profitable, the model is profitable. India post office, there's a bank. Whether it's a payment bank or a small finance bank, find out through Google search. That is why I'm just giving you a clue so that you should also work somewhat. Then in due course, in another 2-3 days, I myself will give all the details. So this is how we have to prepare. Then next one. What is the need for financial inclusion? That is another very important question. What is the need? Why world over countries and the central banks are bothered about financial inclusion? See, the benefit of everything should go to the poor also. Poor people may not have the ability to keep a minimum deposit. to save. So this financial inclusion, one of the purpose is savings. That's not the only purpose. One of the purpose is savings. So they should be able to open account so that there is either no minimum balance requirement, or the minimum balance is very less, 100 rupees or 10 rupees, whatever it is. That is the idea of financial inclusion. The financial inclusion, the main purpose of the idea is the poor people should also be benefited by the progress in the economy. They should not be left out. If they are left out, then they are known as financially excluded. So that is one very important topic, financial inclusion, that I will jot down all the points. I will mention one by one everything. I have already told I am an ex-manager, State Bank of India. I was in India and abroad. A good number of students, my students, they are in Reserve Bank of India as Grade B, Grade A and assistants. 3 have got All India top 10 rank also. My website address is www.bankexamtraining.com. Bankexamtraining.com. www.bankexamtraining.com. Training, and my mobile number 9677 444 009. This is my WhatsApp number also. One of my students who is working in State Bank of India, Hyderabad, he was in Chennai. Now he has been posted to State Bank of India, New York. Many of my students are in various foreign countries in banks, including State Bank of India. That is the only plus point of State Bank of India is foreign posting is there. Otherwise, Reserve Bank is the best. My best wishes, all the best. We will see tomorrow. Bye. Tomorrow, I will take how to write bank exams also, apart from the interview class. All the best. Bye.